Oops, oops, oops. Forgot to put on the music first. Whoops. Everybody's like, what's going on?
Everything feels so abstract. Yeah, it's complicated. What you say, the way you act, well, it makes me so confused. I don't know what to do anymore. Can't you just make up your mind? My heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there is a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too, 'cause baby I don't wanna be.
Hey everyone, hello and welcome. It's Juliana Michaels here. So good to see so many of you guys already in the chat telling us where you're from. I saw people getting their coffee on this morning, which yes, I am all about my coffee, and I got this new mug just recently, so I'm very excited about that. Anyway, if you don't know me, my name is Juliana Michaels. I'm kind of a mixed media artist. A lot of people kind of call my style like pretty grunge. It's not like super brown and rusty crusty all the time. Like I kind of like some color and symmetry to my design as well. So there's a little bit of kind of a clean and simple style to it, but then a grunge layer added on. So my class, if you've not had a chance to check it out, it's all about stamping foam, which in my class, I go over everything about it, how to use it, what it is. It's just a really fun little tool to kind of use and take some other products and use them in new ways. So it's just one more thing to kind of help stretch your stash of things that you have. Like here's a look at a couple of the cards that I'm going to walk you through in the class, and we'll be showing you how to do the backgrounds and then kind of going over a little bit how to do the embellishments. The main focus is on the background here, this part here. But yeah, so hope you guys get a chance to check it out if you haven't already. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but if you have any questions, of course, let me know and we'll get going. All right, we got a question from Liz. I am just finishing it, and yes, it was fascinating. I love the stamping foam and have used it for a while, and I've learned a few tips today. Thank you. Appreciate that. Super appreciate that. Question from Lisa. What other things can you use to make impressions in the stamping foam? Great question. Anything that has texture. Like seriously, I have seen people do like this is a silicone trivet. You could do it onto this. You could do it on the surface of like your chair. Like I'm sitting here, my chair that I've got has a cool pattern on it. Like anything that has texture on it that can tolerate just a little bit of heat, you could do it with. So yeah, just like it's kind of one of those things like use your imagination and like look around your room and see, like that's just what I just did. And you know, things that were laying around. I've got these little like metal charm things. Like you could lay some of those down and heat it up and do something with that kind of a thing. So yeah, so all kinds of things you could do with it. Hi, Libby. I was so excited to see this class. I've had this foam in my closet a year. Now I can use it. That's awesome. Wonderful. Yeah, I'll be super honest. I was the same way. Like I got it and thought like, oh, I'm going to do something with it. And then it just sat there for a while. And then when I finally like sat down and played with it, I was like, this stuff is really cool. And it comes in different shapes and sizes. So, you know, like if you don't want to just like this little size, it comes in a much bigger one. I haven't used the big ones, so I'm not sure how feel like if they get too much bigger, they would be a little bit harder to get a good impression with, because you got to hold like the even pressure on there when you heat it. So, but yeah, but they've cut like a heart shaped one and a circle shaped one. So yeah, lots of opportunities for fun, creative play there. Hi, Joyce. Thank you. I appreciate that. Enjoy the techniques. What ink blenders are your favorites? So if you're referring to like the actual tools, I use different kinds of blenders for different things. So like I like the foam blenders for just like inking the edges of things, to kind of add just a little bit of color to the outside edge. And then if I'm working with stencils, I like the ones that have the brushes. I just feel like they get a little bit more into the intricate details of a stencil. And those are, so to me, like there's two different kinds for different things. And then, you know, as far as like doing like a inky background, like where you're ink blending, I don't do a whole lot of that. But again, I probably would prefer more of a brush for that. Working in a bigger area just kind of goes on a little bit smoother sometimes with the brushes. So yeah, good question. Hi, Helen. Thanks for the question here. I've used stamping foam on other dimensional surfaces, but hadn't thought of an embossing folder, and I have a number of them. Yes, like seriously, can take your like embossing folder collection to like another level, give you options of things that you never even thought of. So I know it did for me. I love it. Can you do stencils on the foam? You know, I don't know. I mean, that's a really good question. I think I would give it a try and see. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything, because if you don't get a good impression, you can just reheat and try it again. Maybe if you put the foam onto, or the stencil onto something that's softer underneath it, it might help kind of push, you can be able to push down into it a little bit more. Be a good thing to experiment with, though. Now you got me thinking. I was like, if anybody out there has used the stencils with it, let us know. All right, Tari, don't forget to use the thin sides of the foam to get strips to print. Ooh, that's a fantastic idea. I never even thought about that. Ooh, great idea. Okay, lots of good ideas here. Yes, I can show the cards. So this one here, and that one there. And then there's also another like little bonus one in the handout that you can get for my class. So that's kind of a little bit more modern style. These I kind of went with a little bit vintage, and then not quite as vintage, but yeah, hope that helps. Okay, Carlos. I have several, including the rectangles. I have the heart and the circle in the center. I put different textures on the circle insert and the outside part. Do you have any tips to using the two parts? You know, that's a great question. I don't have any of those other shapes, but I would like be tempted to try like, you know, maybe getting two patterns of like embossing folders that like go together somehow, you know, that look nice together. And then maybe doing the frame part in one and then the center part in another one. So yeah, I don't know, that's a good idea. I maybe have to get one of those and give that a try. Yeah, thanks. Where do you get the stamping foam? The only one that I'm familiar with is made by Simon Hurley and Ranger, but I know it's not necessarily like a new product. Like it was around like a long time ago, back when I like really probably early on started getting into card making and stuff. Like we're talking, don't want to age myself, but I'm sure there's somebody out here that knows it's been around before. And he just kind of brought it back in a new way. So yeah. Still haven't bought it. Simon is a friend, but when I was a demonstrator, we did that technique using velvet or foam or leather and then would cut it out and adhere it to our mics. It was the 90s. Yeah, that's probably around when I was getting into it. So yep. crafting foam, but not the foam block. I haven't tried using regular crafting foam. Like the crafting foam that I have is all really thin. So I don't know how it would work, because like this is kind of it doesn't give a whole lot. Like it's a little bit, I mean, you can bend it, but not like the sheets of foam can. So this is a little bit sturdier to get like your impressions with. But again, like if you've got a little scrap of it, you could try it. I just don't know how heat tolerant it is. So again, you'd have to kind of like play around with that a little bit and test it and see. I would just be careful with it if it's not labeled for that, because there might be some chemicals in there that could be released when you put heat on it. Like I don't know, I can't speak to all that. So I would stick with the ones that are made for the heat, in my opinion. So hopefully that helps. Oh, what is my go-to tool? All right. I would that's kind of a tie for me, but I think I would probably have to say my die cutting machine. I love to die cut. I use a Sizzix Big Shot Fold Away. That's just, yeah, that I probably couldn't do without a die cutting machine. Yep. I think I would live with everything else. But second from that, maybe a good pair of scissors. So yeah. Good questions. What technique is your least favorite? Ooh, my least favorite. I'm not sure. I don't know if I have a least favorite, maybe just not as comfortable with, would probably be like working with sprays. Even though I use them, they're probably like, I wouldn't say my least favorite, but I just am not as comfortable with them. In fact, I'm going to be taking a class here soon. So with a friend of mine that's teaching. So yeah. All right, Ivy, in your crafting life, what is a technique that you would like to try? Ooh, well, we just kind of covered that a little bit. I want to get more comfortable with the sprays. Like I have all the sprays, and so I'm looking to get a little more comfortable with that. Alcohol inks is another thing. Like I love them and I play with them, but I feel like I'm always not real 100% confident in using them. So that's probably another thing I would like to learn a little bit more on. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Least favorite for me, cleaning up. Yes. Yeah. Although I don't know, I kind of like cleaning up a little bit, but I like to organize stuff. So for me, like cleaning up, I clean up after every project actually. Excuse me. But that's just, I don't know, part of my process. I love to clean up afterwards, and it kind of resets me and lets me kind of, I don't know, get back into the groove with the next project. So yeah, I don't mind it too bad. Well, thank you, Hannah. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. What is your go-to color? I would probably greens or blues. Both of those kind of tend to be my go-to color, and then follow that by brown probably. So yeah. If there's anyone out there that knows the answer to this question for Mitra, who makes the foam besides Simon Hurley, please feel free to share that in the chat. I am not aware of any other ones, but there probably is someone else out there that makes it. So yeah, thanks. Sorry about that, but I'm not familiar with who else does. Do you create while traveling? I do not. When I travel, I leave it all at home. When I've ever tried to take it with me, it just sits there, and I don't, yeah. Unless I'm like going somewhere to do crafting with friends, which I do that regularly. Yeah, I don't take it with me normally when I'm going somewhere. It just sits there and takes up space. So yeah. Hi, Suzette. I need to learn that. Clean up when done crafting. Yes. I don't, I think it's a personal thing. Like we all have our like, you know, what works best for us with our flow of creativity. And for me, having a nice clean desk in between projects, I like things put away, and I like to know where things are. And, you know, you can kind of see behind me how I like to organize stuff. So I like to be able to see certain things so that I don't forget to use them. All right. Another question from Suzette, or maybe not, but I'm like, hello. Other than crafting, what else do you enjoy doing? I have a golden retriever that's 3 years old. So I love spending time with her, and we go for a good like 1.5 mile, 2 mile walk every day. I love to work out. A big, used to be called Beachbody, but now it's called Body. Workout person, and doing a new program called Lava that I absolutely love. And then I like to watch and read like science fiction kind of stuff, kind of murder mystery kind of books and TV shows. And yeah, I like to go antique shopping, and yeah. These are good questions, guys. Thank you. What's the name of your website? Okay, so I don't think I talked about that at the beginning, but yeah, if you're looking for me anywhere on social media, Juliana Michaels is where you're going to find me the most. My blog website is actually 17 Turtles, and that was just started so long ago with that name, and then trying to switch it. I didn't want to lose all that Google juice, so I've stuck with it. But so if you look for Juliana Michaels or 17 Turtles, you will find me out there in the interwebs. So hopefully that helps. How did you meet your crafty friends to meet in person? Good question, because I actually have several friends that don't live near me. We're a couple hours apart at least. And we all met online through like just random chance, and got to talking, and then decided to connect. Like we met up at like a like a craft show kind of thing that was in the area. I'm thinking about one of my friends anyway, for sure. Like we met up like that. But yeah, I would love to have more local friends to craft with. I just haven't had any luck meeting anybody here in the area where I live. But yeah, it's wonderful to have friends to get together with. And if you can't do close, like if you're far enough away that you can't get together, I've got friends that I also do like crafty, like, FaceTime or Zoom with, and or even just get on the phone and like, leave it on speaker and jibber jabber while we're crafting. So yeah. Do you do more paper crafts than stamping? I mean, paper crafts, I do more than stamping. I like to work with all kinds of different paper crafting products. I really love to work with die cuts. Like as I mentioned earlier, my die cut machine is like my favorite tool. I love working with stencils and different kinds of inks and pastes, and yeah, I kind of love it all. The only thing I don't really do much of is like coloring with like Copics or any of the alcohol markers. I did used to do some of that a few years ago, tried my hand at it, and it wasn't, I guess maybe that should be my least favorite thing. So I just found it wasn't for me. So, because there are some amazing people that can color out there, and I can do it okay, but like, it's not really my thing. Didn't bring me joy. Let's just say we should say that maybe. Yes, golden retriever. Siva is her name, and this is our 4th one. And yeah, they're the best. Absolute. But I'm a little biased. So, all right. Well, wow, that just flew by so fast. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy the class. And if you have any questions, make sure to try to reach out to me. Tag me on social media if you make anything inspired by my project. Juliana Michaels, or like I said, 17 Turtles for my blog. But yeah, Juliana Michaels, all one word, will find me on Instagram, YouTube. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. This was awesome. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the summit. And yeah, we'll see you soon.